Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are answering a question from Avon7God. He asked me on one of my other previous videos, is there any fire only skill builds that don't use singular focus that can do a max curse? I did want to find out what he had rune wise unlocked and everything, skill tree and all of that. He said he had absolutely everything unlocked except for some of the skill tree. The skill tree does actually bring quite a lot of bonuses, but with about 80% you should be fine. Some bonuses is like extra multicast over here, extra typing to shadow, or so on and so forth, extra block and so on. All of these with the blue outlines over here are for every single character, and they help deal a little bit more damage. But I digress. Let's show you the actual build. We are running the Pyromancer with the second staff, the Fire Lord's Eare. The skill runes, that we are going to be running are going to be skill inclination fire, because it's going to be fire only, skill affinity fire, and weapon expert. We then run multicast mastery. I do show why I usually always run multicast mastery in Saturday's video. I will link it down in the description, because we were messing around with Discord and a bot for the video, so a lot of it wasn't recommended. I do recommend you go see this video. I show you very important information on multicast mastery. But again, going forward, let's move on. We use elemental flow, searing intensity, and purity. I just find searing intensity and purity fun to play with every now and then. With elemental flow being burn damage, we're going to do damage 50% more often. Now we are doing this as a burn or fire only run, so we are not going to be taking any other of the normal skills like your venomous or your slow or any of those. We are going to run pure fire. The only thing we might land up taking will be something like what's the wording I'm looking for, something like exposed weakness, which will then give us a little bit less damage on our purity. So purity right now is running at 40%, not 50%, because we've got burn as well as molting running on the enemies. And then if you add exposed onto that, it would be 35%, because you lose 5% per negative effect on the target, and already 2 of them means that we lose a little bit over there. So let's see, we're going to focus on Firewall, Meteor. Most of them don't really make much of a difference, but I did try this a couple of times with a lot of different fire skills that are only available on the Pyromancer. I didn't want to use some fire skills that aren't. The reason for that is there are some fire skills that will make this quite trivial, and they make it a lot easier, especially something like Fire Storm and Fiery Blades. Just the combination of 2 kind of make everything a little bit trivialized. So we're not running that. We only want fire skills. Chromatic Bolt is not a fire skill, although it does say it is. It is every single skill, and it applies negative effects, which we don't want. So we're not going to go with that. We'll take Meteor, a Storm, a Shower this time instead of Meteor, see how that works for us. Otherwise, a nice Swift over there. We've got Flame Wave, and then we're now looking just for Conflagrate being the final one that we grab. Otherwise, I don't even think we even need Conflagrate. There's been a whole lot of times where we're doing the runs and Firewall is actually dealing the most amount of damage, even though it has no direct damage anyway. It just deals so much burn damage that it deals the most amount of damage out of all of the skills that we have. The other skill that was dealing immense amounts of damage, which was surprising to me, was a Flame Wave as well. Really did a good performance when I played with it last, so we'll see how it goes and where we go from there. But so far so good. Increase area of effect, damage, I like when the damage numbers go up. A huge fire skill damage upgrade as well. That's going to be beautiful, and we'll just see where this goes. We do need a little bit more area of effect. As you can see, our combustion is very tiny right now. That does need to change quite a bit, because we otherwise aren't going to do any damage with it. So we really need to work on the range of it, but we also need to make sure that we have enough damage as well. So we got to kind of get the two in balance. We do get to use our Ascension though, because it does damage and then provides melting. When we did the dot build, we weren't able to use our Ascension because we were going for dot damage only. Even though some people on some people say that Doom isn't dot, you know, so it doesn't really count. So we'll have to revisit that and not use any Doom. But I think the fact that Doom doesn't do direct damage kind of leaves it to be oh, well, it doesn't really matter if you use it. As long as we weren't doing direct damage, it was still okay. So here we've got Conflagrate. I don't know whether I should keep... Nah, look, I mean, that's a 2.1 second cooldown, and that's 5.5. And the damage is way beyond. This does more damage. Although that's damage per meteor, so that is a lot more damage. Let's try a meteor shower and see how it goes. I haven't really used the skill that much since we originally, you know, went for it. We're going to grab area and multicast over there. We can skip that now. Grab that, grab area, that's okay. Still looking for more combustion area because that's going to help with Conflagrate quite a lot. And we should be in a very good spot now. So let's see how this ends up for us. One thing with the Pyromancer is you do have to try and be wary of your timers. The bosses are going to spawn relatively soon. We are going to skip the... Well, we're not going to have the Ascension up for the second boss fight. And we'll probably keep it for the fourth or the fifth boss fight. Maybe the third, actually. It should be up by the fourth, by the fifth boss fight. So you do have to skip one boss fight using your Ascension every time, but otherwise you should be a-okay. And we do have a triple dash, I mustn't forget that. Sometimes I forget that we've taken it, and then I don't triple dash and we'll end up taking damage when I could have just dashed out of that attack, or whatever the case may have been. So there is that as well. You do need to remember, if you have 3 dashes, to use your 3 dashes. Don't be like me. Alright, there's the Ascension up and running. We're not going to use it just yet. Again, we do want to focus on making sure it's available for when the bosses are up. Grabbing some multicast over here. We do want that Relentless as well. Very, very good to get as much cast frequency as possible, because that's going to help all of our skills deal more damage. And multicast. Alright, let's do this. At least Flame Wave we can knock down the elites, so that's fantastic. Well, the Void Hunters, not the elites. So we don't really have to worry about them too much. Grab the movement speed whenever you want. Look, once you get to a certain movement speed, you actually don't need to dodge at all. I know a lot of people hate the Death Knight because he doesn't have dodge. But once you hit a certain limit for movement speed, you don't really need dodge at all. Maybe I can show you that one day, or I mean I could show you that completely. We can do like a all for nothing sort of run on the Death Knight and show you that you can, with 1 HP, survive the entire run without worrying about dodge. But that's just a personal thing. I don't know if that's something you guys would like to see. It's the all or nothing run where you get 1 HP but the extra bonuses. Alright, we were not close enough to the enemies. They do have quite a lot of AoEs on their faces for us, which is a bit of a problem. We did get rid of 2 of them though, so we should have more. There we go, that's good. Just skip the Void Presence, that's great. Alrighty, area of effect, that's fantastic to see. A bit more life, some rare damage over there, more area of effect. There we go, cast frequencies, multicast, good, good, good. No, exceptionally amazing, no rare, we haven't had any legendary upgrades yet, not really that it matters too much. We can see Flame Wave dealing quite a lot of damage over there. Coming in clutch when it comes to, you know, being surrounded by a lot of enemies, because it does bring the whole knockback or knockdown into play here. Being able to knock down all of the standard mobs, it does make a big difference to survival. You don't take as much chip damage as you otherwise would when you're trying to dodge the bosses. But there we go, 4th round of bosses done and dusted. You can see we do have a lot of enemies around us though, so if we had even more area of effect on our combustion, we would be in a much safer space. But there's the area of effect we're talking about. That's fantastic. Even more area on conflagrate is fantastic because conflagrate hits enemies in the large area around you that are affected by burn or melting. If you don't have enough area of effect, then enemies that are far away from you aren't going to be hit by conflagrate. So you want to try get a lot of area of effect on it, and also a lot of multicast on it, so it hits them multiple times to do the most amount of damage with the skill. But otherwise, you know, that is just how it is. We kind of got the bosses to spawn a lot faster this time. We don't even have our ascension ready. We'll probably get it up and running near the end of the boss fight, so we probably won't use it since then. So it seems like it could be good to skip the 3rd boss fight with your ascension and just leave it for the 4th or 5th one, if you want to you know, finish this a lot faster or whatever the case may be. We are nearly on our last leg over here. We do still have our 2 lives, so we're still in a very good space, but we don't want to necessarily die at all. What kind of a build would that be? Alright, last boss is the easiest boss, and there we go. What, 6 skill points left, 7 minutes 18-second run, pretty decent. There's the ascension up and running, pretty funny. But there you go, Firewall, Combustion, and Flame Wave being the top 3 skills. Firewall definitely dealing a lot more damage, but there it is, a fire-only build, ladies and gentlemen, that you can do with the Pyromancer. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.